Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Uncle Sam's Sports Investing. Uh, we're going to do NFL Week 6 odds for the first video. I will be doing other sports like college football, college basketball, NHL, but we're starting with NFL Week 6 odds here. Do those later. Let's just hop right into this week's whole slate. I'm going to be giving advice for every game here, not just the ones I like. So yeah, let's go to week 6 odds. Let's make some wise investments and win some fucking money. Okay, first game here, we got Tampa Bay at Steelers. Steelers 10-point dogs at home. This, I think I'll take Tampa Bay money, or not money line. Well, I guess you can, but the spread, -10 here, just because Pittsburgh. Alright, Pittsburgh's probably have a rookie quarterback already. So that's strike one. Strike two, they looked atrocious last week. And strike three, they're Steelers. I like Buccaneers here. I know Brady's going through a little divorce or whatever, but it didn't seem like it affected him much last week. I am kind of scared about the 10-point spread. That is a lot to cover in an NFL game. But the Steelers not that good overall. They're playing with a rookie quarterback. They don't have T.J. Watt. The only thing they've got going for them really is that they're at home. But the Buccaneers are just a much better team overall. And 10 points is a lot, but I feel somewhat comfortable betting that. That's not a game I don't like these massive spreads in NFL games, but I feel somewhat comfortable taking the Buccaneers in that situation. Oh, Jesus. Next, we got the Jags at the Colts. Colts 1.5-point favorites. This game. I mean, the Colts just I don't know. I don't have the words to explain. I know they won that Thursday night game last week, and I did have the money line on that, so that was pretty convenient for me. But the Colts just look awful. The defense, I'll give them credit, looked good and have looked good over the season. But to be fair, they were playing Broncos Nation with Russ. You can't cook anymore, so take that for what you will. You know, the offense, though, oh my God, it's pretty bad. They don't score touchdowns. Their drives are, I mean, it's just they don't have much going for them. JT had some injury problems recently, which doesn't help, and hasn't been looking that great all that much this year. Matt Ryan is fairly clearly washed, it feels like at this point. Michael Pittman is really probably the only bright spot, and that's not like a massive bright spot either. Offensive line seems to have been struggling for the most part. I mean, they are protecting Matt Ryan, who can't move, can't do anything, holds onto the ball for a while. I mean, it is a bad job, but still. I think I like the Jags here. The Jags, not an amazing team either, to be honest, but they do play well against the Colts usually. The Colts look awful. The Jags have more bright spots, I feel like. The Jags defense also been playing fairly well over the year. And they have James Robinson, tremendous running back. Fairly solid, okay, like wide receiver core. It's nothing special, but Christian Kirk specifically, has been pretty solid this year for most of it. And I'm not a huge fan of Trevor Lawrence, but hell, at this point he's probably better than Matt Ryan. So I'll take Jags. Probably money line, but you can take the points, I guess, if you want that. Next game, Bengals at Saints. Saints 2.5-point favorites, or underdogs. This is another game I don't particularly care for. Saints are a weird team to me. They just haven't really clicked all that much, but they're like an okay team. They have had injury problems. Michael Thomas, obviously. Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton has been playing. Alvin Kamara as well. Even with everybody back, And being at home, I don't particularly like the Saints because they haven't really shown anything this year that's like wow. Like they've won games and they've done some okay stuff, but they're not an exciting team. They're not like a great team, honestly. And the Bengals, oh okay, Bengals are on paper, especially the better team here. But obviously this year they haven't been playing like that much, and they're away. But they have been playing better recently. They're the better team overall on paper. They've somewhat been playing better recently. I'll take Bengals 2.5 here. Yeah. Oh, we got an interesting one. Next, we got the Jets at the Packers in Lambeau. Packers 7.5 point favorites. A lot of points to cover for the Packers here, especially a Packers team that hasn't been incredibly explosive on offense. This game's interesting. Packers are at home, which is probably a bigger deal than most teams, because Lambeau is fairly difficult to play at, especially as it gets colder in the year. They do have Aaron Rodgers, obviously. That offense hasn't looked like it's been clicking, though. Especially last week. I know they were in London, which is kind of a weird, like, non-routine game for all of them. That kind of sucks. But just overall this year, haven't had that much explosiveness. Their defense is okay. Honestly, I was expecting better, I feel like, coming into the year. The Jets, on the other hand, obviously not some superstar team, but they haven't looked nearly as bad as I thought they would. The defense has been serviceable, I guess. And the offense has looked fairly good. Breece Hall kind of breaking out, having a very good year this year. I like that kid. Your receiver core is actually fairly talented. O-line is what it is. Zach Milson is back. Looked fairly good since he's been back, as expected, I guess. 7.5 points is a lot to cover for them. I like the Jets plus 7.5 here. Fairly, it is always Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau playing the Jets, which really throws you off. But honestly, I think the Jets can cover or not get beat by more than 7.5 points, hopefully. So I'll take the Jets here. If you want to, you could take the money line, just because I think there is a chance they do something. But I'll take the points there. I'm not that stupid. Next, we got the Pats at Browns. Browns 2.5 point favorites versus the Patriots. Okay. This is a weird game. For one, the Patriots, for some reason, haven't been as bad as I thought they would be, especially with their quarterback out. This isn't a team, especially on paper, I don't really like. Their defense and offense isn't really anything special. They don't really have any guys. They're just kind of the Patriots, and they have Bill Belichick. The Browns, on the other hand, they're at home. Yes, they don't have their quarterback either, but Brissett's a fairly serviceable quarterback. He's solid. And they have Chubb, who's an outstanding Kareem Hunt, which are two outstanding running backs, and a pretty solid defense. That being said, the Patriots kind of just do weird stuff and win when they shouldn't and everything, especially this year. I still think I like the Browns 2.5 here. They're at home. I think they have a better team. It is a weird game, but I think I'll take Browns 2.5 here. Next up, got the Vikings at Dolphins. Dolphins 3-point dogs at home. Okay. So this is a weird game. Dolphins are at home, which is somewhat difficult to play, but it's more so towards the summertime. As it goes later into the year, I feel like it obviously becomes easier and easier to play there. Not as much cramping and stuff going on, basically. Two teams that are weird for me. Dolphins, no Tua, obviously, which sucks. looked very bad last week. Kind of looked like they just fell apart. Their two wide receivers are kind of dealing with nagging injuries, which I don't care for. I'm not sure what their current status is, like if it's fully put behind them or not, but it didn't look put behind them last week, that's for sure. Their defense is pretty solid. I'm somewhat a fan of their coach. I think he's fairly good. The Vikings, on the other hand, are, for all their ups and downs this year, for some reason a safer team. Their defense is hit or miss, but it is what it is. It's fine. They're on the road, which doesn't help. But their offense, I feel like, is pretty solid. You got Kirk Cousins not playing in prime time, thank God. You got J. Jeff, obviously. Dalvin Cook is still Dalvin Cook. I mean, this is a weird game because, especially if Tua's there, I feel like you take Dolphins +3, but I'll take Vikings -3. Just because the Dolphins looked very bad last week, especially without Tua. It's not really a team I trust right now until all their injuries and everything gets put behind them and they're ready to go. And the Vikings, no prime time. I feel like I just trust them a little more for some reason. Next up, we got the Ravens at Giants. Giants 6-point dogs. Yeah. Okay, this is another weird game. The Giants have played very well this year. They've got Saquon, who I think has a kind of injury, like a shoulder injury apparently, which I don't know what the status. If he plays, I think he'll be fine. And he probably will play. The Giants have played very well. A solid defense, it seems like. An offense that isn't incredible, but Saquon just carries the hell out of it. Ravens, on the other hand. Defense is what it is. Solid. It is what it is. It's whatever. But that offense, they have Mark Andrews. J.K. Dobbins not bad. What's Bateman, I think. Their wide receiver is pretty solid too. But Lamar is just, he's outstanding. And he's been playing like it all year. I like the Ravens here. I know it's a lot of points for two fairly good teams and the Giants are at home. But I don't like betting against Lamar. He's been playing absolutely amazing football this year. And he's got a solid team around him. And the Giants, Saquon's kind of hurt even if he does play. And I know they've been playing well. They're well coached, it seems like, and they're at home. But I just don't like betting against the Ravens or Lamar. So I'll take Ravens -6 here. Next, we got the Niners at Falcons. Falcons 4.5-point dogs at home to the Niners. This one, okay. Falcons, not a great team, especially on paper. They do have some weapons on offense. It's not atrocious. Their defense not very good. But they are at home. 49ers, solid defense. Pretty good offense. Say what we will about quarterback and everything. San Francisco, I think, should win this game, and they probably will. But the Falcons are tremendous against the spread, especially this year for some reason. Very good, right? I believe they're undefeated this year against the spread. Only team very good against the spread. Which, do they go undefeated against the spread the entire year? Probably not. But do you want, I don't know when that stops, really. Especially against a 49ers team that has flashes, has a lot of talent, is pretty good. But it can be hit or miss depending on if Jimmy G wants to show up. 4.5 points is what it is. Falcons getting 4.5 points, though, at home with a record against the spread with an okay offense. This is a scary game if you're 49ers better. So it's almost a toss-up here. And the Falcons get their shit kicked in, I'll sound like an idiot, but so far they haven't really, lost the spread. So it's like, Do you want to take the chance that this week is the week? I think if you take 49ers money line, I think they win, to be honest. But I don't. It's just, especially with that stat, I do not like betting against the Falcons this year. But that being said, for some reason, I'll take the 49ers 4.5 or money line, whatever. Just because, I mean, they should be able to cover. They should be able to win and win by a decent amount and manage that game. The Falcons, despite covering, have not looked like spectacular this year. I mean, I'll ride with the Niners. Hopefully it ends this week. Hopefully that streak for the Falcons ends this week. Okay, 4 o'clock. Got 3 of these bad boys. We got the Panthers at the Rams. Rams 10-point favorites. And I tend to agree. And I tend to like the Rams minus 10 here. And I'll tell you why. Panthers not look good all year. Even Christian McCaffrey, their guy, doesn't seem to have been force-fed the ball enough, honestly. Obviously, they do have weapons. DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey are very good players. But their team has not played well. There's obviously coaching issues there. I'm not entirely sure who their coach is now. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure who their coach is now. They do have some weapons, but Baker Mayfield has not been playing well. Their defense isn't anything special. I think they have Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore, but DJ Moore doesn't get the ball enough, and he is being thrown to by Baker Mayfield. Christian McCaffrey, obviously a very good player, and does a lot with what he gets, but for some reason he doesn't get enough. So I'm not entirely concerned with him. The Rams, on the other hand, yeah, it looks like they're kind of washed from last season, but they're not bad. They're at home. They've got a solid defense still. Their offense isn't amazing as it was last year. Seems like Stafford's kind of fallen off a little bit. Cooper Kupp is questionable, which concerns me a lot because he kind of carries this offense a bit. If Cooper Kupp doesn't play, I say 10 points is probably too much to cover for them. If he does play, I think they can cover 10 points, especially at home versus a not great Panthers team. But it's kind of a weird game with everything surrounding Carolina right now, and the Rams not being amazing return Super Bowl defenders. But as things sit right now, especially with Cooper Kupp probably going to play, maybe, I'll take the Rams minus 10 here. Whew, okay. Cardinals, Seahawks. Seahawks 2.5-point dogs at home. This is another weird one because Seattle, for some reason, isn't bad this year. Geno Smith decided to play good football for some reason this year. Seahawks at home, hard to play there. But the team that, on paper, really doesn't have much. They have DK Metcalf, plus, what the hell, I can't remember the fucking other wide receiver's name. Lockett, I think. Yeah, Lockett and fucking Metcalf. But apart from that, shouldn't be that good. Geno Smith, though, playing great football. They're at home. The Cardinals, on the other hand, defense isn't anything to write home about, I guess. They're fine. Kyler is weird. I don't know what Call of Duty's double XP weekend status is. Haven't checked that yet. But hopefully it's off for them to win. I feel like the Cardinals are the better team here. But I feel like that also doesn't matter entirely. Especially when you're playing the Seahawks for some reason. Hard place to play at Seahawks at home. They're getting points. They haven't played that bad. Cardinals are iffy. It's a weird game. I probably wouldn't touch this, to be honest, if I was actually betting money on it right now. But giving advice, this is tricky. I'll take the Cardinals minus 2.5. I think for all the Seahawks being at home and for all they've done, I think the Cardinals are the better team. I think they have an okay week this week. This is a weird game. I probably wouldn't touch it, but I'll take Cardinals 2.5. Last 4 o'clock. Hell of a game for fucking 4 o'clock. Jesus, they didn't put this on prime time for some reason, but the fucking Broncos are. That'll be great. Got the Bills at Kansas City. Kansas City's 2.5 points at home. 2.5 point dogs at home. Surprising. Buffalo, though. I mean, they've looked outstanding. They look like a juggernaut team this year. Kansas City looks close to being a juggernaut team, but not quite. This is almost a toss-up game. This should damn near just be a pick-em, to be honest. Kansas City, yes, they haven't looked great, or they've looked fairly good this year. Maybe not as great as like Buffalo has or some other teams. They've had some problems. Like even the last game on prime time versus I can't remember when Kelsey scored 1,000,000 touchdowns. Yes, they won, but they looked like they had, or it was the Raiders. That was who it was. But they looked like they struggled fairly bit at home versus a Raiders team that wasn't amazing, to be honest, especially like how they've been playing this year. They obviously lost to the fucking Colts somehow. Don't know how that happened. It looks like if you could shut down Kelsey, you can really give him a decent amount of problems and be able to win if you can execute on the other side of the ball as well. Bills, hard to bet against this year. Josh Allen, Diggs, Gabe Davis now. I mean, just tremendous team. Defense is pretty good. I mean, they're well coached. They're a great team here. I know Kansas City has Mahomes. They have Kelsey. They're at home, which is Arrowhead's a difficult place to play sometimes. And they are the Chiefs. But I like Buffalo minus 2.5 here, to be honest. I don't like betting against Buffalo. They've looked very good this year. I think this is a revenge game from them from last year's playoffs. I think they win. And I think they cover. So yeah, we're riding Buffalo. It's got some prime time. Sunday night, Cowboys at Eagles. Eagles 6.5 point favorites. Okay, this is another weird game. Eagles looked very good this year. Very good. Hurts, that offense is clicking. Hurts, they got A.J. Brown. They got Devontae Smith. Yeah. Very good team. Their defense has played very well so far this year. I mean, they've looked like a juggernaut team. They look like a very good, very realistic contender to win the Super Bowl this year. And they're at home, Philly, which is a difficult place to play for opponents, especially if you let people get into your heads. But the Cowboys, their defense has played well. They have Micah Parsons, he's an unbelievable pass rusher. Their offense, to be honest, Zeke kind of looks weird. Pollard looks okay. CeeDee Lamb doesn't look as good as you think he would be or should be. Cooper Rush, though, for some reason, has played outstanding. He is undefeated as a starter in the NFL. The Cowboys have been clicking week after week since week 1, really, since Dak left. I mean, this is a weird game because the Cowboys have been looking amazing. The Cooper Rush has never lost. They've been playing very good ball coming into this. But so is Philly. Philly, also a juggernaut team, we're at home. It is a lot of points to cover against a good Dallas team. And this is a divisional rivalry, so that kind of weirds the game up. But I like Philly here. It's very difficult to talk yourself into betting against Philadelphia. Especially if you're taking like money line, obviously, that's bad odds. I'll take Philly minus 6.5 here. They're the better team. They've been playing outstanding. They're a very good team this year. They're at home, which is a difficult place for people to play. Cowboys, I know they have Cooper Rush. They haven't lost. They've been playing well, but I just like Philly that much more. I'll ride with them. I'll trust them here for 6.5. Let's go. Go Birds. Last game. Monday night. Denver Broncos at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers 4.5 point favorites at home. I mean, the Denver Broncos. I mean, what can I say that the internet hasn't been saying for weeks since their last primetime game, and somehow have another one? They look horrible. Their defense has been playing. They looked okay last week, but they were playing the Colts, which is also bad. But it is what it is. Their offense, though, Jesus Christ. This team does have Javonte Williams. They're starting running back. Russell Wilson as quarterback. A washed Russell Wilson, it looks like. He is not cooking this fucking year. Not even the first half like he did usually. He looks like he's struggling. They're away at the Chargers, which, I mean, away at the Chargers is home for everybody, but, they do have to travel and everything. This offense hasn't been clicking at all. They've been very difficult. By the way, a Chargers defense that isn't bad. Kind of flies under the radar, but Chargers defense is solid. And then an offense that is very talented. I know the Chargers team as a whole is very talented. They're at home, but Chargers are going to charge somehow. They're gonna find a way to screw up, all the games. That's always the same. But against the Broncos on prime time, I think they win and they cover. I think they're the better team. They're at home. And not even the Chargers can screw up beating the Broncos and covering how the Broncos have been playing recently. I trust the Chargers, their talent, their better team, their home field advantage. I'll take the Chargers -4.5. And we're riding. So yeah, that's the entire slate of NFL Week 6 odds. Hopefully I can win you some money by my wise sports investments here. We will be doing other sports, college football, NHL, leading up into next week's college basketball when that starts. Probably do those videos for NHL, probably Monday, probably a couple days before, maybe like Thursday or something for college football. And we'll do those videos. We'll bet the slates on those. But yeah, that's NFL Week 6 odds. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys win some money, with my wise sports investment. Comment down below if you have any thoughts about any parlays or any over-unders or anything. Or single game parlay picking, like little prop bets. Comment down below if you win or lose money and are either very happy or enraged with me. Like, subscribe, share the video. I'll see you guys Monday, I believe, for NHL that week odds. See you guys then.